Shalom, shalom to the 144,000, the elect. While I get started, let me give all praise and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushua, by Hashem, Yokaha Kodash. Double honor to the apostle nails, a great millstone. Peace and blessing to the brothers that are preaching the truth in the four winds of the earth. May Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushua, have mercy upon you. I'm going into this video here. I don't know where I'm going to really go, but I know I'm going to be in Genesis and from the beginning. And I went down in the the comment section, and I was reading, and people was just stating things that they should not be stating, and just making it up as they go. But know this, that everybody on them fakers. Everybody. Right? But they trying to start from the beginning, when the beginning is not they concentrate on this Semitic thing, right? Which is a made up word. Which is a made up word, don't have anything to do with the chosen people. But they like it's Esau, create words and make words and make those words important. Because why? Because he's the what? He's in control of the earth. So this is what we have to do. This is why we have to go over and sift through what the beginnings, which is the beginnings of what, of languages. It's Hebrew, Paleo Hebrew. And then we got to work our way up to what? To the other language, all the other language that was added unto. Because when the Heavenly Father took us out of power and authority of the earth, what did He do? That include taking what? Taking our language, which is Paleo Hebrew. Right? So let's hear this video out, and then as I read on and read a few comments or whatever, I'm going to answer a few questions, then I'm going to close this video out here. But that's where we at. Here we go.
Come see us on tour in Hartford, Connecticut, Syracuse, Atlantic City, Levittown, New York, Cohost, New York, Providence, Rhode Island, Los Angeles, Bakersfield, San Jose, Toledo, Ohio, and Toronto, Ontario. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets. Our friend Richard Medhurst found out something pretty interesting. And most of the prime ministers of Israel changed their name because they didn't sound Middle Eastern enough. You think I'm kidding? Let's watch a little bit of this.
I show you what I'm about to show you, your mind will be blown. You're going to be blindsided. Every single Israeli prime minister has a fake name. Did you know that?
Oh.
I was just talking about Ben Gurion. Do you know what his original name is? It's Grun. Gruen. He changed it to make it sound more Jewish and sound more Middle Eastern. Do you know what Netanyahu's real name is? It's not Netanyahu, it's Milkovsky. I swear to God, go and look it up. You'll find Milkovsky. That's his real name. Remember what Israelis are. Israelis are European Jews. They don't come from Palestine, but they want you to make you believe. They want to make believe and make you believe that they come from this area, that they are indigenous to the land, that they're so Jewish, right? Even though they have no connection. So they changed the names. Here's another one. Moshe Sharat. His name is Chertok originally. You've got Levi Eshkol. Eshkol was Shklonik. So he changed it from Shklonik to Eshkol. Then you have Yigal Alon, his original name, Peikovitz. Golda Meir, Israel's first female prime minister. Her real name is not Golda Meir, it's Mabovich.
See, those names that he's using, Mabovich, these are what? German names. Right? So they'd be what? Descendants of what? Of Germans. Which is you know who, right?
Mabovich.
Golda my ass.
More like mad bitch. We have Yitzhak Rabin, right? His name is not Rabin, it's Rubitsov. Are you seeing the pattern? These are Eastern European names. Not Palestinian, not Jewish, not...
Eastern European names. He proved his point by saying that they are, they're basically what? Edomites. Right? That's who they are and what they are. You know, they shouldn't be in that land, but you know, the land was given to them in 1948. You know, I can't go into every detail concerning it. We just um not working on, but going over the name portion and concerning the heritage and who it was given to. So you know, so I'm gonna be sifting through. I'm go back to the beginning and I'm work my way to who to 25, which is Esau and Jacob. So let's hear it out.
Middle Eastern, they're Eastern European. Okay? They're not Palestinian. They don't come from this region. Yitzhak Shamir. He's a great one. You know, Yitzhak Shamir, he's on the wanted poster because he was wanted by the British police in Palestine for terrorism. But they don't tell you that. So Yitzhak Shamir, his original name is Yezernitsky. Yezernitsky. Shimon Peres.
These are all small hatters now. These are small hatters. Small hat, which is your Jewish people. These are all small hatters that they're speaking about.
Persky. Netanyahu, I already told you, Malikovsky. I think I said Milkovsky, excuse me. It's Malikovsky. Never, you know, it's the same point. Ehud Barak is Brog. So B-R-O-G. Brog. He changed it to Barak.
See, Barak. That's very interesting, right? Why would your president? I don't know. I can't search. Well, not that lineage. He's a damn Hamite, should I say? But you know, Hamites and Hamite that's a whole nother subject as well too. So, but we going. I'm trying to establish because the whole world was plenishing was through Ham, Shem, and Japhet. The point is Shem. I'm gonna show you the reason we concentrate. He gonna say Semites. So I'm concentrating on the word, you know, Semite / Shemites.
Ariel Sharon. His original name is Shinerman. Shinerman. He changed it to Sharon. And Yair Lapid, who's you still see him changing posts, his original name is Lampel. So he changed it from Lampel to Lapid.
So let me bring in George Galloway. Now, you know something about this, and you also know something about...
Oh, the name of this video is Why All Israeli Prime Ministers Have Fake Names with George Galloway. Here he is here.
About the creation of the Israeli state. And, you know, people say, well, it came from the Balfour Declaration, and people use that to justify the Israeli state. Could you talk about why that's not a justification?
Well, hardly. It was the first and I think the only instance in history when one people granted to a second people the land that belonged to a third people. And in the era of colonialism, we didn't even possess it as a colony at the time. It was a part of the Ottoman Empire. It was not ours to give away, but we gave it away to a group of European colonial Jews. They never made any secret of that. They met in Basel in the late 19th century, but they met many times in the United States, in Baltimore and many other places. The newspaper headlines are extant in which they describe themselves as a Jewish colonial movement. And they
Jewish colonial movement. This is how they established this is how they got the land. 1948. After the war, after the wars, the British and the you know, all of the European nations or whatever, you know, too many to name, but this is how they, you know, I know I can't go in every detail concerning this and that and this and that and this and that. I'm just saying the Europeans, and the Europeans consist of who? The so-called white man, right? And they are who? They are Edomites.
They were begging the British Empire,
which is Esau-Edom, or should I say, Esau-Edom, Idumean, but the origin of what of those names come out of what of Esau.
to give them somewhere, anywhere, that they could found their Zionist settler state in. And they were in advanced talks with the British Empire about Uganda, about the Seychelles.
See, the British. He just said it, the British.
They negotiated very seriously to have their state in Argentina, in Patagonia. That would have given rise to a different kind of PLO in the years to come. They were ready to found their settler state everywhere. They saw these white Europeans building settler colonial states in Australia, in Canada, in South Africa, Rhodesia, and so on. They wanted a piece of the action. It was only later that they invented ex post facto a religious justification for building their state in Palestine. As a matter of fact, all the leaders of the early Zionist movement were atheists. They didn't believe in God, but they believed that God gave them Palestine. It's a monstrous fabrication.
A monstrous fabrication. Let's see something. Let's see what Google's gonna tell me here right quick. Let's do this right quick, y'all. Let's see. When was the Zionists created? Let's see something. The Zionist movement as a political organization was officially established by Theodore Herzl in 1897. With the covering of the first Zionist Congress in Basel, Switzerland. Here's a more detailed breakdown. Theodore Herzl, a Jewish, y'all know what I'm talking about, journalist and political activist. Herzl believed that the Jewish population couldn't survive without a nation of its own. First Zionist Congress, Herzl convened the first Zionist Congress in Basel in 1897, which drew up the Basel program of the movement, stating that Zionism strives to create for the Jewish people a home in Palestine secured by public law. World Zionist Organization, the first Zionist Congress, also led to founding of the World Zionist Organization, which declared that the aim of Zionism was to establish a national home for the Jewish people, secured by who? By public law. However, Zion, while Herzl is credited with founding modern Zionists, the organizations of Hover, Zion, lovers of meaning lovers of Zion, hailed as the forerunner of modern Zionist ideals, were responsible for the creation of 20 Jewish towns in Palestine between 1870 and 1897. Cool. Let's get a little. Let me see. 1896, Isaiah published the pamphlet of Judean state, the Jewish state, in which they elaborate his vision of Jewish homeland. So let's get to the point. Let me see. 1897. Let's see something. What was Israel called? And here we go. Let's go right here. What was Israel called in 1948? The British Palestine. Israel was called British Palestine. In 1920, because that portion of Ottoman Empire was given to the British to manage after World War One. That's that first war after World War One. Let's go to who is the father of Zionism? Theodore Herzl, and what an Austro-Hungarian journalist and political or activist is what is widely considered the father of modern political Zionism, having founded the Zionist organization and advocating for what? For a Jewish state in Palestine. Let's see. Let's get on to the point. Let's see. What was Zion primary goal? Okay, let's read this here. What was their primary goal? To establish what? Theodore Herzl in 1897 established a national home for the Jewish people, secured by nobody wanted them. Nobody wanted these wicked devils, right? But let's get to, let me see something. What is the Zionist family? Zionist Republic, Wild Palestine? I'm trying to get to the, hold up, y'all, 1 second. 1 second. When was Zionism? Here we go. No, that was 18. No, I won't. Trying to get to the point. You know, this is not an old, not a new thing that these devils was creating. The who? I got that. Who found it? Okay, Judaism. Here we go. Here we go. While Judaism is an ancient religion and cultural identity, Zionism is a political ideology that emerged in the late 19th century, advocating for a Jewish homeland in Palestine. Not all Jews are Zionists, and not all Zionists are Jews. As the two concepts are distinct. Here a more detailed breakdown. Judaism. Judaism is a definition, which is what Judaism is a religion and cultural identity that has evolved over thousands of years, encompassing a diverse group of people who share a common religious and cultural heritage. Okay, their core belief is what? Judaism is rooted in the belief in one God, a covenant with God, and what importance of following religious laws and traditions. Don't say he ain't say anything about the Most High Yahweh. Why is that? Because why? They don't even who everybody equally call Christ. They don't worship the Son. You know, for different reasons, and then for whatever reasons. Their reasons was what? Because they know they know that shit made up. All of it. Judaism encompasses various denominations and interpretations, including Orthodox, conservatives, Reform or Reconstructionism, Judaism, Zionist. Definition: Zionism is a political ideology that originated in the late 1900th century of advocating for establishment in support of a Jewish state in Palestine. There it is, man. There it is. I want to get that 1948. This is when they got the land, man. 1948. Let's see. Let me do this here. 1948. The Jewish people had. Hold up, y'all. They might.
According to Wikipedia, on the 14th of May 1948, the day before the expiration of the British Mandate, David Ben-Gurion declared the establishment of a Jewish state in Eretz Israel to be known as the State of Israel.
There it is right there. Even though I said a little cocky, but you know that 1948 set out what I was going, what I need to get to. So you hear it right there. You know, these things are not hidden. You know, you got AI and all that. All these things are not hidden. Let's read some of these comments right quick. Let's see something here. Go to somebody giving a site. Go to Ground News or Scan or QO, and I'm not going for all that. Is it anti-Semitic to point out that that they aren't Semitic. See, hold up. See that word Semitic, right? Let's see something. I might be going a little deep here too far, but hey, if we do it, don't, whatever. Uh, the true meaning of the word Semitic. Let's see what they give me. Okay, Semitic primarily refers to a what? A subfamily of the Afro-Asiatic language family. See it live there. That include language like Hebrew, Arabic. Okay, well, Hebrew, Arabic, Aramaic, or Araharic, as well as the people who would traditionally speak them. So, but none of these people are I mean, all of these people are what? Uh, Shemitic, right? But Esau is more of Shemitic than is near and dear and closer to Jacob than it is a Semitic person than what? Than most. Because Esau was what? Esau and Jacob was brother, which is the so-called black man and the so-called white man. You know, these things, see, that Semitic mess that they use in anti-Semitic, that's just something that's a made-up term that they created to what? To give a certain position, a meaning for a particular people. That's something that they was creating. Right? It's a what they say, most Jewish actors in Hollywood change their names. Yep. They don't believe in God, but they believe God gave them that land. They can believe what they want to believe because they are what? They are the controllers they control the earth. So whatever they say goes. There's a reason why Christians and Jews in Jerusalem refer to themselves as Palestinian Christians and not Israeli Christians. Zionists are not Semitic. So you know what? Yeah, I said I want to go to Genesis, right? Real quick, but it ain't quick. I do a little reading. I'm going to show you that Esau-Edom come from the line of Shem. So that will make him a Shemitic, right? That's what we concentrate on. So let's go to Genesis right quick. Genesis 5. I'm starting verse 1. This is the book of the generation of Adam. Adam is the first man that the Heavenly Father decided to deal with. Adam in the day that the Most High, thy power, Most High created man in likeness of thy power, made he him. Male and female created in them and blessed them and called them what? Name Adam. Excuse me, y'all. And Adam means what? Earth. Of the ground. Adam means earth. Okay, Adam lived. Now I'm gonna go up. Let's go. Let's read on. And Adam lived 130 years and begat a son in his own likeness after his image, and called his name Seth. And the word Seth means what? Compensation. Right? So let's scroll on. Let's see something. Let's go to verse 28. And Lamech lived 182 years and beget a son, and he called his name Noah. Noah's three sons was who? Let's read. Saying, this same shall comfort us concerning our what? Work and toil of our hands, because of the what? Of the ground, which the Lord Yahweh has cursed. Meaning that what? That they're gonna work. They're gonna do what? Work for food. Let's go in the Apocrypha real quick. I can establish this real quick. Let's go to second Esdras. But I'm gonna read a little further to give more context as well. But the Apocrypha right here, which is second Esdras, 3 and verse 5. 3 and 5. Okay, the Most High gave what? Gave laws even before Moses. So listen to this here. Second Esdras 3 and 5, which is in the Apocrypha. And gaveth a body unto Adam without what soul, which was the workmanship of thy hand, and did a breath into him, the breath of life, and he was made living before thee. And thou leddest him into what? Paradise, which thy right hand had planted before ever the earth came forward. Verse 7. And unto him thou gavest good commandments to love thy way, which he transgressed, and what immediately thou would appointed death in him, and in what? In the generation, of whom came nations, tribe, people, and kindreds out of number. That's Adam now. Eve was the one that gave him to it and had everybody going off. A so-called black woman, wicked as hell. And every people walked after their own will and did wonderful things before thee, and despised thy commandments. So Israel been wicked a long time, man. Generations of a bunch of wicked people, man. Over coming back and doing the same old wicked thing over and over and over and over. Now the time for you to what? It's time for you that second death. So you ought to catch that second death, which is verse 9. Let's see, second Ezra 3 and 9. I got a lot of reading, y'all, while I'm going kind of fast. And again, in the process of thy time though, brought the flood upon those that dwell in the world, and destroyed them. Verse 10, which is a good point. Adam's death was for what? For sin. And it came to pass in every of them that as death was to Adam, so was the flood to what? To these. Let's jump. No, I'm gonna jump. Nevertheless, one of thou, namely Noah, with what? With his household, of whom called all righteous men. Let's come down to verse 13. Now when they, which is our second address, 3 and 13. Now when they lived so wickedly before thee, thou didst choose thee a man from among them, whose name was what? Was Abram. This is where you got Abram. Him thou lovest, and unto him also thou what? Showeth thy will, and madest an everlasting covenant with him. This is where that would lead up to what? Abraham. You got lead up to Isaac, and then Jacob. And Jacob was what? The 12 tribes of the children of Israel come out of, right? Which is Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Ephraim, Manasseh, Simeon, Zebulun, Gad, Reuben, Asher, Issachar, and Naphtali, right? Now I'm gonna go back over here in the west. I'm gonna finish reading this here. I'm gonna go down to verse 22, and I'm gonna go back in Genesis, and I'm gonna prove my point a little further concerning Shemitic, not Semitic, because that's a made-up word, right? And him loveth unto him only, verse 14 of 2 Ezra 5 and 14, thou showest thy will, and made of an everlasting covenant with him, promising him that thou would never forsake his seed. We are a seed line of righteous people, man. Seed line. But at this point in time, the Heavenly Father is searching for what? His elect. All of the things that we endured, and been all the wickedness that we been going through, and being in the hands of in captivity of all other nations, is what? For a purpose, and that purpose was what? And when the end that we were in, we just starting with what? The 144,000 of men, which is the elect. Then the earth is going to be what? Full of righteousness, when the elect take over after these latter times that we're in. Verse 16, which is 2 Ezra 3 and 16. And unto him thou gavest Isaac, and unto Isaac also gavest what? Jacob and Esau. There it is. Esau-Edom is a so-called white man. As for Jacob, thou what? Didst choose him. He didn't choose Esau-Edom, the so-called white man. Right? Thee, and what? And put by what? Put by Esau. And so Jacob became what? A great multitude. And that's the great multitude, which is the 12 tribes of the children of Israel that you see. That great multitude. Let me see something right quick. Let me see something right quick, y'all. Yeah, 41 and what that is, Isaiah 41 and 8. Let me show you something. Isaiah 41 and 8. But thou, Israel, art my servant, Jacob, whom I have chosen, the seed of Abraham, my friend. See that? Or what? Or righteous people. Verse 16 again of 2nd Esdras 3 and 16. And unto him thou gavest Isaac, and unto what? Isaac also thou gavest Jacob and Esau. As for Jacob thou gettest choose him to thee. And put by what? By Esau, because again, Shem. This is the line of Shem. And I'm going to prove that when I'm going to go back in Genesis. Verse 7, let me see. And so Jacob became a great multitude. Verse 17. And it came to pass that when thou leddest this seed of out of Egypt, thou broughtest what? Them up to the Mount Zion. We knew that they were the Israelites. Let's drop down to verse 19. And thy glory went through 4 gates of fire, and of the earthquake, of the wind, and cold, and thou mightest what? Give the law. This is why we are, as the Israelites, we are the ones that what? That can sin. Because the law was given to what? The Israelites. It was not given to the whole world. The law unto what? Thy seed of Jacob. And diligence unto what? The generation of Israel. Ain't we still generating? This is the point when Adam, a wicked heart. Okay, verse 21 of our 2nd Esdras 3 and 21. For the first Adam, this is the first Adam, because there was more than, these devils then took all our ancestors' naming them themselves Jacob and Abram and Abraham, which is where Abraham came out of. Okay, for the first Adam bearing, they stole everything, including our heritage. So what that is, Jeremiah 17 and 4, they took everything. For the first Adam bearing a wicked heart transgressed and was overcome, and so be all. How was he overcome? By Eve giving him what? That fruit, and it was not an apple, real fruit. The fruit is what? Those philosophies and dealing with the other nations and the other nations, right? And was overcome, and was so be all they that are born of him. Thus infirmity, verse 22, was made permanent, and the law in the heart of the people was with what? With malignity, meaning what? Wicked, bad nature. That word, which is malignity, of the root, so that the good departed away, and the evil abode still. So until this day, we still wicked as hell, right? So let's go to verse 29 of Genesis. I'm back over here in Genesis. You know what? Let's hear a little more of this. No, let me go with this here. I mean, y'all know the video about it anyway. This is the word is what matters most. Genesis 5 and 29. And he called his name Noah, saying, this same shall comfort us concerning our work in toil of our hands, because of the work of the ground. Because what? Work what? You work for food. And the food come what? From the ground. Right? Because from what? From seed. Just as the man's seed comes from man and what? And goes into the woman's womb, is what? It's planted. Planted in the what? Planted in the woman's womb. So this is why the man matters, or who, in determining what? Your lineage, or who you are, which is a seed line. You know, you can take an apple and plant it anywhere. Apple seed and plant it anywhere. Whether you plant it in America, whether you plant it in Europe, you plant it in Russia, that seed gonna make what? An apple. So the man has the seed. So that determines the what? The race of the child. Verse 30 of Genesis 5 and 30. And Lamech lived after he begat what? Noah. 595 years, and beget sons and daughters, and all of the days of Lamech were what? Okay, Noah was the third oldest son. Let's go a little further. Let's go to chapter 6 and drop down to verse 8, which is Genesis 6 and 8. Why are we concentrating on Noah? Because Noah had what? 3 sons: Ham, Shem, Japheth. Trying to prove the point that the so-called white man, he is Shemitic, right? He's not Semitic, he's Shemitic. That Semitic is a made-up word. But Noah found grace. I'm not gonna go into all the different languages and this and that and this and that. You know what I'm saying? But Shem is a Shem. That the word. That's why they don't use the word, because it's in the scriptures, which is Shemitic. But verse Genesis 6 and 8 again. But Noah found that Noah means what? Comfort. Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord Yahweh. He found grace in let's go to, these are the generations of Noah. Noah was what? A just man and what? And perfect in his generation. And Noah walked with God. Noah walked with God. Let's go to real quick. I'm gonna jump a few of these chapters in, y'all, because let's go to 9 or Genesis 9. Genesis 9. He's trying to ease on to the point. 9 and verse 18. 18 real quick. Okay, Ham, because Ham, the father of Canaanite. These are the Hamites, which is the damn Africans over there, right? And the south of, which is the modern day what? Egyptians. And the son of Noah that went forth of the ark were what? Was Shem and Ham and Japheth, and Ham is the father of the Canaanites. Verse 19. These are the 3 sons of Noah. So now that I established that, let's drop down to verse 26 in the same chapter of Genesis 9 and 26. And he said, blessed be what? The Lord Yahweh, God of Shem. So we are concentrating on who? Shem. Trying to prove that the so-called white man, he is what? He is, we just say Semitic, because this is the word that they are using, that the world knows of. Right? Let's go over to, so now we're going to concentrate on what? On Eber. Eber. Let's concentrate on Eber, which is, let's go over here. Let's go to Genesis 10 and 21. Unto Shem, also the father of what? Of all the children of Eber. Eber, these are the chosen lineage that the Heavenly Father chose, which is the people. And Eber means what? Eber itself means what? The word Eber means what? Hebrew. This is where the word Hebrew came from. Verse 22, the children of Shem was Elam and Ashur and Aphax. This is who we're gonna concentrate on. And he had Lud and Aram. So we're concentrating on who now? Aphaxad, or should I say Aphaxad. This is who we concentrating on now, which is in Genesis 10 and 22. Let's go to Genesis 11. let's see, 11 and 10. Let's go to 11 and 10. Because Eber, who came out of Eber? Abraham, right? Well, I said I'm going to 11 and 10. 11 and 10. And it reads, which is Genesis 11 and 10. These are the generations of what? Of Shem. Shem was 100 years old and what? And begat Arphaxad. So Arphaxad, who was the next line of starting and going to what? That chosen lineage. It was what? It was Eber. Eber came out of Arphaxad. So let's go to verse 26, which is Genesis 11:26. And Terah lived 70 years and begat Abram. So where did I go? You can start with, okay, Eber. Eber is what? You go to verse 17, which is Genesis 11 and 17, and you'll see Eber. Eber lived as what? As he begat Peleg, but I'm skipping all that. I'm not going to go through all that. I'm dropping down to verse 26. We're going to concentrate on who? Terah. Terah was what? Terah lived 70 years and he begat Abram. Now we own Abram, which is what where the word Abraham came from. The Heavenly Father called him Abraham and not Abram, right? Begat Abram. Okay, verse 27. Now these are the generations of what? Of Terah, Abram, Nahor, and what? Let's see. Let's go to 1 second. 1 second. Now we can go to, we can get in Abraham. Okay, here we go. 15, Genesis 15. I'm gonna go to verse 12. This is Abram now. Abram, this is when the Heavenly Father, let me just read it. And when the sun was going down, a deep sleep fell upon Abram, which is Abraham, and lo, and horror of great darkness tell upon him. He said unto Abram, know of a surety that what? Thy seed shall be a what? A stranger in a land that is not theirs, and shall what? See, which is who? A stranger in a land would have not theirs. Now we're going into what? We're going into when we went in captivity, which is the Israelites, in the hands of who? The Egyptians. This is what this is talking about, which is verse 13. And he said unto Abram, know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and shall what? Serve them. This is why we were serving the damn Hamites, man. Who a lot of you all think you all are Africans. And they shall what? Shall afflict them 400 years. 400 years. Let's real quick. Let's go to Exodus, which is Exodus 12. You know, y'all run around talking about y'all goddamn Hamites. 12 and verse 40. I know it's 40. 12 and 40. And here it is. Now the sojourning of the children of Israel, which is who we are, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and natives of this land, who dwelt in Egypt, was 430 years. And it came to pass at the end of what? The 430 years, even the self-same day, it came to pass that all the hosts of the Lord Yahweh went out from the land of Egypt, talking about the Israelites. Now, back on verse 13 of Genesis 15 and 13. The main point is, I'm working my way up to 25, which is Esau-Edom, the so-called white man, because the man made a statement right here that Zionists are not Semitic, meaning talking about the so-called white man calling himself small hatters, calling themselves the Jewish people. Verse 12 of 15, Genesis 15 and 13. And he said unto Abram, know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and shall serve them, and they shall what? Afflict them 400 years. And there you go. It is not talking about America. This chapter here is not talking about America. It's talking about we was in Egypt. Verse 14. And also that nation, excuse me, y'all, and also that nation whom they shall serve will I judge. Did not he judge Pharaoh, Egypt, with the 10 plagues? Huh? Who was Mizraim, the son of Ham? Huh? Did not he judge them? Yes, he did. Okay, let's go a little further. Abram, Sarah, wife. Okay, let me read this little here, and then I'm gonna go to verse 25. I'm gonna close this out, man. Okay, 16 goes into now, which is Genesis 16, goes into Sarah and Abraham, wife. They gave him what? Hagar, and what? The Egyptians, and these are what? This is a lot of okay, verse 18, which is before I get to 16, which is 15. In the same day, which is Genesis 15 and 18. In the same day, the Lord Yahweh made a covenant with Abram, saying unto what? Unto thy seed have I given this land from the what? The river of Egypt unto the great river of what? The river Euphrates. Now I'll go to verse 16 with the top, which is what? Sarah and Abram. Abraham's wife, which is Sarah, means what? Princess. Now Sarah, Abraham's wife, bare what? Him no children, and she had a handmaid. This is where the women of these times have no integrity, man. They selfish as hell, and they all they think about themselves. So but Sarah, which is back in these times, they did what? Now Sarah, Abram, she couldn't bear him children at that point. And what did she do? She gave her handmaid, which was an Egyptian woman, who was what? Was Hagar. So they let you know right out the gate right there that we can have what? Other nation of women. Because why? No matter who we lay down with, the seed, it will count for what? The of being that chosen seed of lineage that will carry on through whatever woman we choose to lay down with. Let's see. Let's skip a little. Let's skip a little, y'all. I'm gonna get to the point because I want to go to Genesis 25, which goes into. Okay, let's go to let's just go over into. We know about Hagar and Ishmael. Hagar bare Ishmael, and Abram was 406 years, and when Hagar bare Ishmael, Abraham. Let's go to Genesis 25 and 1. Now this is when Abram let me see, took another wife. That's Genesis 25 and 1. Let's go to Genesis 25 and 1, which is where I'm trying to get to the point. Yeah, Abram took another wife. That's what it is. Then, which is Genesis 25 and 1. Then Abraham, because the name Abraham now, because the Heavenly Father changed his name from Abram to Abraham. Then again Abraham took a wife, and her name was Keturah, and she bare him what? Zimram, and Jaskan, and Medan, and Midian, and Ishbak, and what? Shinar. Okay, let's go to. Now we can go to. Hold up before I skip over there. Okay, let's go to verse 5. And Abraham gave all that he had unto what? Unto Isaac. But unto the son of the what? The concubine, which Abraham had, Abram gave gifts and sent them away from what? From Isaac, his son. Huh? He sent Ishmael away from what? What did he say? But unto the sons of the concubines, which Abram had, Abraham gave gifts and sent them away from Isaac his son. Why? Because Isaac is what? The lineage of what? Of the seed line of who? The righteous men. While he yet lived eastward unto east. Let me see something. Let's hit something right quick. Galatians. Let's go to Galatians right quick. Something I want. Galatians. Let's see. I think that's Galatians 3. 3 and hold up. Y'all back with me. I'm trying to make these points here. Galatians 3. I know it's in 3. I think about 15, 16. 3 and 16. This I say then, walk in the Spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. For the flesh lusteth against the Spirit, and the Spirit against the flesh. And these are contrary the one to the what? The other, so that ye cannot do the things that ye would. I'm trying to make a point. The flesh, down to verse, I want to go to verse 20. Idolatry, witchcraft, hatred. The point I'm trying to make, which is there, Galatians 3:16. This is what I wanted, which is 16 to 20. But let's go to verse 7, which is Genesis 25 and 7. And these are the days of what? Of the years of Abraham, life which he lived 103 years. Verse 8, which is with the point, and then I'm going to go to from now, that then Abraham gave up the ghost and died in what? In a good age. But the point is made concerning the children. Now let's go into 25 and 25. Well, I'm going to start at verse 21. Then I'm going to work my way down to verse 25. I'm going to close this out, man. Showing you that Esau-Edom, we know that Esau-Edom is what? He's Shemitic. He's Shemitic. You know, they say Semitic because what? That just confuse you all more than what you already confused. So verse 21, which is Isaac and Rebekah, right? This is what in Isaac entreated. The point is already made for real, but I want to go into Esau concerning him being red and who he is, right? And Isaac entreated the Lord Yahweh for what? For his wife, because she was barren, meaning she could produce children. And the Lord Yahweh was entreated of him, and Rebekah, his wife, conceived, and the children struggled together within her. And she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to what? To inquire of the Lord. You get 1 Peter 3 and 16, who she inquired of, the Lord. Right? Through what? Through her husband. Okay? We inquire of the Lord. And the Lord, I'm not going to every precept, man. I'm just giving you a little context so you can go to yourself as I quote certain scriptures. And the Lord Yahweh said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. So there you go, the separation. It's giving you the separation concerning the 2 nations, which is who? The so-called blacks and the so-called white, which is Esau and Jacob, shall be stronger than the other people. And it not the so-called black man's more physical and stronger than the what? The so-called white man? Of course he is. This is why he needed what? He needed that sword, that blessing, which is that sword that which is in Genesis 27, starting at, which is his blessing, this is why you see him having the world in the palm, damn near in the palm of his hand at this present moment. This is that blessing that Isaac gave his son Esau, which is Genesis 29 27, 39 through 40. You start at verse 28 though. 38. Sorry. Let's finish this up. Verse 24. Now, I'm finishing the tail end of 23, which is Genesis 25 and 23. Be stronger than the other people, and the elders shall serve the younger. And when her day to be, so the elder is what? Esau-Edom, and the younger was what? Jacob. Esau-Edom, the elder son was Esau-Edom, right? He's supposed to have what? The birthright. But we know that he sold his birthright. He didn't give a damn about his birthright. He sold it unto Jacob. So this is why you see Esau-Edom doing what he's doing with this mark and get ready for the chip, the new world order, and the things that he's doing. He's trying to establish what? His own birthright. It's not going to work. Verse 24 of Genesis 25 and 24. And when her day to be delivered was fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. And the first came out red all over like a hairy garment. You go to Genesis 2 and 7, and that goes into what? The dust of the ground. Right? Got to read it. I'm not going back and read all that. I'm already damn near an hour in this thing here. And the first came out red all over like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. Now I'm going to go to verse 36, which is Genesis 36, real quick. And further prove my point, then I'm going to close this out. 36, start from the top, which is Genesis 36. Now these are the generation of Esau, who is who? Edom. Esau took his wives and daughters. Okay, let's go to verse 8 of Genesis 36 and 8. Thus dwelt Esau in what? In Mount Seir. Esau is Edom. Verse 9, and these are the generations of Esau, the father of the Edomites in Mount Seir. And who's known to come from our what? Mount Seir. Esau-Edom, the so-called white man. These are the names of Esau, son. Eliphaz, the son of Adar, the wife of Esau. Reuel, the son of, okay, verse 11. And the sons of Eliphaz were what? Was Teman, Oman, Zophar, and what? Gatam, and Kenzar. Verse 12, which is the point where I'm going to close it out. And Timnah was the concubine to what? To Eliphaz, Esau's sons. And she bare to what? Eliphaz, Amalek. Amalek is who you over there in what? In the land of the small hatters that y'all see over there now. Amalek. Bear him Amalek. These are what? Were the sons of Adar, Esau's wife. So that's it, y'all. So on that note, I'm going to say, call all Yahweh by Hashem, Yahushua by Hashem, because Qudash. I'm not going to finish this video out. Shalom, y'all. You want to watch it, go to Jimmy or Door Show. You want to watch, just about 5 minutes of it. My point is proven that Esau-Edom is a so-called white man, and they are what? He is Shemitic, not Semitic. He's Shemitic. Shemitic. All right? So, on that note, again, shalom, y'all.